everybody, and welcome back to Divorce in High Definition with Helen Ducan, HD Family Law. So, last video I introduced myself. I gave you a little bit of my background and a little bit of my thoughts on the field of family law and what I'm going to do with this video series. So today I thought I would let you know why. Why do I do family law? And where did my love for this really come from? And I thought about it, and I thought, I was kind of born to do this. I know that might sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but give me a chance. So, when I was little, I was born to a family of Russian immigrants. And actually, my parents and my grandparents and my brother had come from Russia 2 years before I was actually born. So when I was born, I learned to speak Russian, even though we lived in America, in Michigan. And when I went to kindergarten, I was speaking Russian. And I had to learn English pretty quickly. And from a very young age, my parents didn't have the best English. And who was the one to translate everything? Me. My grandparents didn't really know English at all their lives here, and I was often found in a position where I was a young girl, maybe 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, translating for them at the doctor's office, translating for them at the bank, at the supermarket. I was always having to, help with that language barrier. Now, my parents learned English much faster than my grandparents, but still, I was always the one that was helping my grandparents fill out forms and sort of translating documents for them. And I had to have a lot of patience, because sometimes it was a lot and they wouldn't get it. And that, I was having trouble translating it because I was younger and I didn't know maybe exactly in my mind how to translate these adult topics. Or, so I learned a lot of patience, and I learned that it's really hard for people that don't understand the language to make important decisions. It's very hard for them to understand the consequences, to understand exactly what they're getting into, whether you're applying for a credit card or a loan, or you're going to the doctor and they have to do a procedure and they give you one of those forms that give you all of those side effects or possibly horrendous things that could happen, and you have to really spend your time to understand what it is you're signing onto or you're waiving. And so I was the one that was always doing that. And not only that, but when you don't know the language, a lot of people, they try to take advantage of you. They think, oh, he doesn't understand, or, she doesn't comprehend. And they try to pull one over on you, And from a young age, I also had to make sure that my family was okay, and that nobody was trying to pull one over on them or take advantage of them. And so I sort of became their advocate. Imagine like a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, saying to somebody, what? You can't say that, or you can't do that, and not allowing them to sort of push around people just because they didn't understand. And that taught me a lot of how to approach a conflict where my family doesn't understand exactly what's going on. Maybe I'm not able to translate it perfectly, and somebody is trying to hurt them or get money from them, or just simply take advantage of them, and having to approach it, right? So I quickly learned that the more you fight, the more you react and you backlash and you get all passionate about something, the more that person, it causes a complete, or it causes a complete backup or a reaction from them, and it wasn't getting us anywhere most of the time. And so I realized that you had to talk to somebody with some grace and some patience and with some tact. And I began to see that, you know, these people weren't necessarily evil or bad. They were doing their job. They were trying to get a result, and that maybe there was a place to compromise, or, you know, maybe, you know, we could still get somewhere. We could still come to some sort of understanding and an agreement. And my parents or my grandparents could still be okay, you know. And I became, you know, I became good at that. I became good at negotiating on behalf of my family and protecting them and making sure at the end of the day that they were fully clear on what it is that was going on. And that brings me to what I do every single day in my practice. My clients are part of my family law, right? It's family law. They are going through the toughest part of their life. Their families, you know, when something affects your family, that's tough. That's really hard. And so what makes it even harder is that the law is not plain English. You know, the law is murky and gray, and it's hard to understand. The words are not clear. And if you're not in the system every day, you're not dealing with the judges every day and other attorneys every day, you don't know the norms, the standards, it doesn't matter how much you're going to Google. It doesn't matter how much your knowledge you yourself will gain. There's no way for somebody who's completely stressed and who's going through this to comprehend any of that information without guidance. And that is what I find is my absolute favorite part of this job, is that I get to hold my client's hand through the process. I get to translate the law, the norms to them so that they feel confident, empowered. You know, they say knowledge is power. Well, it really is, because you cannot make decisions simply based on emotions. You have to, at some point, put those emotions aside, which we work on. You know, we work on getting you strong and empowered and brave, and we really work on that. And we get you to get those emotions to the side and use your logic. But to use your logic, you have to understand. You have to be aware of what the words mean, what the documents mean, what people are saying. You know, in court, when things move quick and the judge is, you know, saying things quickly and the attorneys are arguing, you need to be able to know that everything is okay and to be able to make decisions. And so that's why I think I do what I do and why I was born almost to do it, right? Because my number one goal is to not let my client be taken advantage of, to make sure that they're okay after the process is done, right? That they're secure, they're happy, they are solid, right? We're more than okay, actually. We are in a good place financially, personally, emotionally, right? We have to be, it's holistic. It's a holistic process. And in order to get through that, you have to understand, you have to be clear. So that's exactly why I do what I do. And I think that I was always prepared from even a young age to negotiate on behalf of my clients, to be able to hold their hand, to explain, to have patience. And you know, it's killer, like when my parents couldn't get an answer right away, or you know, they would call a doctor's office and it was hard enough not to understand them, and then they wouldn't get a response, and they couldn't really communicate that they needed a response right away. And so I realized that I've realized that, you know, what people really need that are going through a foreign situation. And that's why it is my goal every day to be helpful, to translate, to hold my client's hand, to be accessible, to answer questions calmly and patiently, and really value your knowledge. And that's why HD Family Law. So I hope that now you understand where I come from and sort of my experience with life, and why I love being able to serve my clients in this field and to help them understand the law and the process in high definition. So until next time, where we'll have some solid information about the legal process, I just wanted you guys to know a little bit more about me and where I come from. Until next time, have a great day.